Normally, if you want to see heat, measure electricity, look at an electrical signal, or generate a test signal, you need 4 different tools. This little guy apparently looked at all 4 of those tools and said, get in, we're carpooling. Today I'm testing this 4-in-1 handheld diagnostic tool to see whether it can actually replace a thermal camera, multimeter, oscilloscope, and signal generator, or whether it just has a serious identity crisis. Let me walk you through some of the basic controls, right? Because this can be a little bit intimidating, but thankfully switching between the 4 main tools is pretty simple, and that all right here. Right on the bottom you see this infrared tool. You see this right here, you press that. Now this opens up your digital multimeter tool. This one right here opens up your oscilloscope, and then this one right here, AWG button, opens up a built-in waveform or signal generator for you. These directional buttons right here just help you walk through the settings, you know, pretty simple, up, down, left, right. The mode buttons opens up the menu options, and then you can adjust the settings or take you back, right? So you can hit OK or more, and then you have your back button and you can save it. This also comes with, just to charge it really quick, it is USB-C, which is awesome. It also comes with a SD card as well right there, so that you can record all the videos that you need to just by pressing the record button or the save button right there. Okay, so you've got to first change it to video mode. Right there you can change it from just taking a picture to recording video. Once you do that, you press auto. Now we're recording video. You can see that, and then obviously you got this stop button right here. You can stop it. And if you want to take a picture, you just change the mode to picture, and you hit the save button to take a picture. And you can see that it just did that, and now we're taking pictures. So whether you need it for video, picture, on any of these modes, you can do that, and it stores right into your SD card. All right, let's start off with the easiest one, which is the infrared right here. We're already on the infrared, and that's pretty easy. This is going to just tell you heat signatures, right? Whether you're diagnosing the thermostat, the car, or a dog, you're going to get your heat signatures. Obviously, not sure if it's good for veterinarians, but it's great for mechanics, electricians, anything like that if you're chasing heat or cold, HVAC guys, right? So that's kind of where this is going to live. Or like me, you live full-time on the road and you always need a 4-in-1 tool. This is going to come in handy for diagnosing work. Now you can easily see the recordings here. The thermal counter uses like the different colors you can see here. They represent different temperature differences. The warmer areas usually appear brighter, while the cooler areas appear darker, depending on the selected color palette that you actually prefer. Honestly, this can really help to locate those overheating electrical components, your warm connections, if you have failing power supplies or line break, anything like that. For me, I use it for my appliances or areas that should be eaten up that's not. The center right here provides a temperature reading for that area being targeted. So as you move this around, you can see that target area right here. I should be 98.6. It says 97.2, so I must have a cold. But you can see the accuracy of this reading. Now the cool thing on the back is you have a lens cover. It's not necessarily a lens cover, it's for micro, getting those tight shots. So let's say if you're working on a circuit board, you can just slide this over, and now you're going to be able to zoom in on what you're working on, like a circuit board or something like that. Basically, the makers of this 4-in-1 tool decided to put everything in the palm of your hand, right? You no longer need to have 4 different tools. It's all right here. So do I profess to use all of them? Absolutely not. When I need them, they're there, and I probably have to brush up on my knowledge about how each one tools. I'm gonna be honest, I don't use the oscilloscope or the waveform. I use the voltmeter and I use the temperature, are my 2 favorite. But if it's there, I'm gonna use it if I'm stuck on my diagnosis. If I'm stuck trying to figure something out, I'm gonna use it, right? So today I brought along a little battery for us just to test out so you can see how this works. So now we're gonna switch over to the multimeter. You see that? We're just going to press that button right there. This is probably most of your DIYers. You guys are going to be able to recognize this. The multimeter gives an actual number such as the voltage remaining in a battery. So we're going to hook up our multimeter tools, and you have a channel 1 right here. You have a channel 2, and then you have a GAN out right here. That up right there, red to red. Take these caps out, and right there. So it comes in DC, and that's what we're going to be looking at right now. So with this battery, we should be at 1.5 volts. if it's a good battery. You see that right there, 1.5. So we got ourselves a good battery, which is awesome because this battery right here has not been touched for years. So I was kind of surprised. I was curious, honestly, if it had any life in it or not. So we're gonna continue to hold on to this and not throw it away. So right there, just saved me money. That right there, just a simple, easy to read voltmeter. I mean, it does AC, DC, Thunderstruck, all the greatest hits. So we don't really need to get into the voltmeter for sure. It is something that is a handy tool that I use quite often. And I love the digital readout. This yellow print is awesome to read. Next, we're gonna go to the oscillator. Now again, this is something that I'm not too familiar with, but I wanna kind of show you guys how it works and we're gonna learn together. I'm not too familiar with how the oscilloscope works. So every time I have to use the oscilloscope, I have to brush up on my knowledge. So if you use this on a daily basis, just know that it's there. And if I mess up on something, I could be ignorant to that. But if you need the tool for that, it does have it right in here. So we're gonna go over it really quick. All right. So for this one, you don't use those normal black and red leads. You use these guys right here. And you're gonna connect these guys to the top. So you got a channel 1, which is we're gonna put this guy in. And channel 2 right there. Kind of get those down like that. Now the way that I think of an oscilloscope is where these guys are your voltage meter, shows you how many volts that you have. This guy is going to be like the heartbeat over a period of time. The oscilloscope is going to give you a reading on how steady that is. How does it dip down? Does it go up? You have good cells, bad cells, all that kind of stuff in your battery. So you can get a pinpoint that. And so you just take these caps off. You can certainly start to pinpoint and diagnose the problem. So we're going to do this. We're going to stick this on right there and see what kind of reading we're getting here. Right here. Now we know because digital multimeter tool said this is a good battery. Look at that. That green line appears right there and you can see that waveform and there's no deviation in that. And so that's a really constant signal. The other thing that's kind of cool is you have these alligator clips right here. So you got these alligator clips, positive, negative. So what's cool about this is if you have a circuit board that you want to test and see if there's a current over time, see if you have any loss or get some historical data, you have these alligator clips that you can just set them there for a little while, record this, come back in 5 minutes and say, okay, do we have a solid signal? How's the wave? Is the waveform solid? Does it dip down? Think of it like an EKG for electricity, right? So how's the heart rate going? And that's kind of what your oscilloscope does, is it gives you that reading for an electrical current, right? Again, if you're diagnosing a weak point on a circuit board or something like that. All right, so once you get these connected, by pressing that auto button, it automatically adjusts it back to where it's even. So you can see that now we're even and along those lines, because basically a battery provides steady DC voltage. The oscilloscope should display a mostly flat line. So pressing the auto button can automatically position the scale and the signal on that screen. So automatically adjust that to a flat line. So the multimeter kind of told me how much battery voltage this had. The oscilloscope is showing me what the voltage stays steady. If the multimeter gives me the number, the oscilloscope actually gives me the story. So you can do that either way. What the other thing that I just found out, because again, I'm new, you don't need both of these guys. You can just do that with an alligator clip, which makes it super handy. So you can clip this to anything that'll attach to that. You can clip it to the battery. And then you take that and you see it right there, over here. We got that same reading, which frees up your hand to do another thing. And we're reading this on channel 1, which also makes this unique because now we can do a channel 2. So if we have something like on a circuit board that we should be getting the exact same reading, we can hook this up to something else, another circuit or something like that, and see, okay, do we have any deviations, right? And if you're not familiar with it, if you're a beginner like me, the auto button right here is the easiest thing to press. It's the easiest thing to place to start because it really tries to adjust your waveforms automatically. Now there's a lot more advanced features that I personally can't get into or can't speak about, but if somebody's familiar with it, then you probably recognize a lot of this stuff. Or you're just getting into it, you're gonna be able to dive a little bit deeper than I can or that I really have use for. I keep touching this, and I'd be remiss if I didn't mention you can actually stick this on a tripod as well, so that's kind of cool that they give you that tripod feature. In other words, I let this tool do the heavy lifting for me, and when I need it, I research it, because There's so much information here that I'm unfamiliar with, and that doing a deep dive on it and then never using it, I'm just gonna lose that information anyways. All right, next up I wanna show you is the signal generator, or the AWG. This is the fourth tool of this, is the signal generator, like I said. This is probably the most specialized section because the basic idea here is pretty simple. Where the oscilloscope listens to the electrical signal, the signal generator will actually create one. So what the signal generator does, it produces controlled waveforms, right? Common waveforms are what everybody uses out there is like sine waves, square waves, and triangle waves. Basically, it's the frequency setting, and it controls how quickly that signal repeats back and forth. The amplitude controls the strength or the voltage of the generated signal. This button right here basically allows for all you technicians out there to send a known signal into a circuit and then observe how that circuit actually responds, right? The best way for me personally to understand this is for this to create the signal, and then the oscilloscope is used to listen for that signal. Create the signal, listen for the signal, right? And that's kind of the best way for me to understand it. Hopefully that helps you as well. So these common waveform selections, you got your square, ramp, and sine. Now, for me personally, when I'm talking inverters, I use a pure sine wave inverter. So that tells me if I'm measuring my inverter to make sure that my electricity is clean, clear, and crisp. It's gonna produce a signal for me, and then I'm gonna switch over to oscilloscope and then read that signal to make sure that I'm getting a good, clean signal. So combined with these two, it helps me to identify if I have a problem in my inverter and the electrical currents that's going throughout my trailer here, right? Believe me, there was a time when I took this rig into the dealer because I could not charge my batteries. For months, I was sitting there trying to charge my batteries and I could only charge them plugged to an external outlet. I couldn't figure it out. I took it to the dealer. I had a mobile tech look at it. I had a friend come over and look at it, and nobody could figure it out until I started to teach myself these controls, because guess what? Mobile tech, they didn't have it. My friend didn't have it. I'm not sure if the dealer used this, but to me, I was able to push a signal through, find that the inverter was not producing the right signal. There was a break in the chain somewhere, and that told me exactly where that break in the chain was, and I was able to fix it myself and save me a lot of money. This unit has actually paid for itself because I didn't need to have costly repairs. I just found that there was a chain broken. If you have a truck, an RV, or anything like that, this unit will probably most likely pay for itself in diagnosis and repairs if you learn how to use it and do it yourself.